Hello, everyone. I'm Steve from VALHARTV, and today I'll be reviewing The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 5. In this episode, we see the Mandalorian child continue their journey to Corvus. This is going to be a full spoiler review. I'm not really sure how to do it without it because there's a lot of stuff that happens in this. The episode starts out in a fog drenched action scene where we see two white lightsabers being wielded against blaster carrying enemies. Basically, we see the opening scenes of Ahsoka Tano, and who's played by Rosario Dawson. And dude, this is amazing. She goes around slicing through trees, using the Force to like throw parts of the trees at the guys, and to like confuse them so they turn around and move, the way she wants them to, and she just literally slices them all up. It's a great opening to an episode ever. I mean, the build up they had for Ahsoka Tano literally pays off in the first few minutes of this episode, big time. Uh, she literally gets right up to the gates of the city and is like, "You got a day to, get your affairs together and tell me what I want to know." And then we see, Mando and the child arrive, and they're taken right to the magistrate, who wants him to kill Ahsoka, because he's a Mandalorian, so they're enemies, from what they know. So Mando goes out to find Ahsoka, and there's like a really brief struggle in this where we find out that Beskar steel is impervious to lightsabers. The lightsabers can't cut through it. So I thought that was actually pretty sweet. So that's canon now. They literally established that you can't cut through Beskar steel even with lightsabers. And then that's resolved as she sees the child. So then her and the child go and speak together using the Force, while Din is pacing back and forth, on the sidelines. And Ahsoka reveals that the two of them can feel each other's thoughts through the Force, and she says that the child's name is Grogu. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of it, but I mean, you're going to have everybody divided on it by naming the child and not naming the, child type scenarios. But now that we have a name for the child, that it's Grogu, we established that it is a boy because she says his name. And then Ahsoka reveals that Grogu was raised at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. So on the main homeworld of the Republic, he was raised. And when the Empire and Republic fell, Grogu was hidden, and he like suppressed his powers to survive over the years. So that's why he really doesn't use his powers very well, even though he was trained on Coruscant. He stopped using his powers so that people couldn't find him. And so Ahsoka refuses to train him because she's afraid that the pain Grogu has and the fear and anger and everything, resentment inside of him, could turn him to the dark side. So she doesn't want to, train him because she's seen that happen before. So the Din and her strike a deal to train Grogu for his help, him helping her get into the city and get the information she needs. So Ahsoka infiltrates the city, and the guards end up chasing her, and like she's like a ghost, weaving in and out of the side streets basically, which is really cool. And she just dispatches them one at a time, and then we see this droid I thought was really cool. This droid jumps up onto a roof and then does a somersault onto it. So I thought that was actually pretty cool for that part. And then we get Din and Lang, who's played by Michael Bay, which I thought was really cool because he did a good job in this, even though he didn't have a lot of lines. They have a duel, a shootout. And, of course, the Mandalorian wins. And then we see Ahsoka and the magistrate, Morgan, get into a duel as well. And I thought that was beautifully choreographed, beautifully done. That word trips me up all the time. Choreography. It was beautifully done. It was an amazing scene. I do think that Rosario Dawson needs a little more fight training because in all the scenes where she did fight, it was really kind of stiff. So I think she needs a little more training in that, and I think she'd be even better then. But this fight scene was really good, even though it was like a little slow. They both were trying to feel each other out, and they started getting a little faster, which was cool as well. But of course, there's a really big name drop as Ahsoka asks Morgan where her master is. She literally does this big name drop that I don't want to spoil for anybody. That's awesome. I was like, wow, this really is tying in Rebels to this as well. So that was really good. And then, at the end, Ahsoka notes that Din is like a father to Grogu, and that he should take him to Tython, where there is a ruined old temple there where if he places them on top of this seeing stone, Grogu can decide his own course, his own destiny, and he can reach out through the Force, and if a Jedi Master hears him and decides to come looking for him, he can get trained to be a Jedi, or he could just let his powers fade away. So we get to really see some really cool things in here. The effects with the dual white lightsabers have always been impressive in the anime show, Clone Wars. But in this, they're just like super impressive in the live action, where they're striking and they're really almost blinding when you see it. And in the fight scene that we get with Ahsoka and the magistrate, the white lightsabers literally light both of their faces up, and it looks really awesome. I mean, I honestly loved this whole episode. This was a really good one. Probably the best one out of the season yet. The Force powers are pretty cool. With Ahsoka in the beginning, she's throwing around like tree parts that she sliced through, and she levitates a rock and sends it to Grogu. There really isn't a lot of music in this until really the end, but there isn't any need for it, for the simple fact that the sound effects really stand out even more in the fight scenes, which I thought was amazing. Again, the acting in this was amazing. The Rosario Dawson plays an amazing Ahsoka. She really brings her to life in the live action, and this is. I think leading to a spin-off with her and like Bo-Katan, and you have Boba Fett as well, who's I believe is going to get their own spin-off series. So I would literally give this a 9 out of 10. This was probably the best episode so far. I really loved what they did with all the effects. The look for Ahsoka Tano is just brilliantly done. All the way down to to her outfit, the robe, everything is brilliantly done in this. So I really thought they did a good job in this episode with how they made Rosario Dawson look so much like the animated Ahsoka Tano. So if you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and subscribe, as I'll be doing more content each week. Thank you. Take care, everybody.